What's up, guys? Welcome to Explore Smart, Save Smarter. My name is Freddy and I am your host. This channel will help you save smarter and be happier. I will give you some tips and tricks and my advice for the young generation from my experience. We will talk about tech, we will talk about lifestyle, we will talk about Bitcoin on this channel. And today it's all about Bitcoin. Because as of now, when we record this, it is the 20th of April 2024 and it's 6 hours, 13 minutes and 1 second left for the halving. About, I should say, because it depends on how fast the miners are mining the blocks. But we will explain all this in just a minute. First, about me. I'm a military engineer, just like this guy from Falling Down. I live in Sweden with my wife and her daughter actually, and I love the three B's: books, Bitcoin and beer. What is the halving? I'm sure most of you have heard about it. Well, it has to do with the inflation inside of Bitcoin. And to explain this, we have to dig in some math. But don't be afraid, I will explain everything for you. This is the Bitcoin inflation. We have 32 halvings in total. We have 210,000 blocks between each halving. And inside each block, we have 50 bitcoins divided by 2-point index. And index starts at 0. So when we still have 32 halvings left, we index at the index is at 0. 2 raised to 0 is 1. So we have 50 bitcoin in each block. For the next halving, we will have 50 divided by 2. That would say 25 Bitcoin per block. 2016, when we had our first Bitcoin started, by the way, in 2008. But anyway, so about every fourth year, because it's not an exact number or an exact time, because it, so, like I said, depends on how fast the miners are mining the blocks. Bitcoin goes into something we call a halving. And a halving means that we cut the supply of Bitcoin in the blocks. So, like I said, the first 4 years we had 50 Bitcoin per block. The second 4 year from 2012 to 2016 we had 25 Bitcoins. Then we had 12.5 and then 6.25. And for now, in a few hours, we will have 3.125 Bitcoin per block. But this goes on for about 100 years or so more. And in 4 years, in 2028, we will have 1.5625 and then 0.78125 and so on and so forth. But everything sums up to 21 million Bitcoin. So when everything is mined, there will only be 21 million Bitcoin out there. And this is extremely important to remember this. The reason why Bitcoin is so much scarce is that everybody right now is trying to buy up the Bitcoin for themselves. For example, we had a ETC launch, or a bunch of ETCs launched in USA, and the biggest of this is these ETCs is BlackRock. It's one of the most successful launches ETFs in the world, and BlackRock is gobbling up 273,000 140 Bitcoin up to April 18th. Imagine that, it's only 21 million Bitcoins. And iShares, which is one entity, has already gobbled up 273,000 of these Bitcoins. And one more thing everybody should remember is that there actually isn't 21 million. It's 18 million mined right now, I think. And some of them, or a lot of them, is actually lost and will never move from the wallet again. Exactly how many, we never know, but we know people lose their Bitcoin every day. But BlackRock isn't the only one that is competing for this Bitcoin. We have countries that competes for this. This shad here is the president Nayib Bukele from El Salvador. And he also tries to gobble up as much Bitcoin as possible. Right now he has 5,000, which in this case sounds like a small amount, but it is absolutely not a small amount of Bitcoin if you think about the future, because it's all about the future. Another entity that gobbles up a lot of Bitcoin is one company called MicroStrategy. To this day, they own 240,246 Bitcoin. You start to realize now that this is just, I take three entities. Then we have all the people that buys Bitcoin. We have all other companies that buys Bitcoin. We have other ETFs that gobble up Bitcoin. But one thing also happened the other day. Hong Kong, they approved and launched their own spot Bitcoin ETFs. So, what are actually driving the Bitcoin prices and where are they heading? Well, as I said, the Bitcoin ETFs is the most successful ETF launch in history of all ETFs. And as we could see, I think this is from a month ago, March 14, and now it's April 19. Bitcoin ETFs has been purchasing on average of 10,000 Bitcoin daily, vastly exceeding the daily mining output of just 900 Bitcoin. So, as you understand, when the supply also cuts in half, so from tomorrow or a few hours away, we will actually not have 900 Bitcoin per day. We will have 450 Bitcoins per day. This will, of course, dry up some of the supplies in the market. And we've seen the supply cuts. This is the supply on exchanges, and you see it's been going down ever since. This chart is actually from 2021, and it's been going down ever since. And it's a clear correlation. And actually, Bybit, who is an exchange that where you can trade Bitcoin, they have recently released a report. This was on April 15, saying that there's only 2 million Bitcoins left on exchanges overall, and it will only take about 9 months to consume all of the remaining reserves if the demand is the same as it is now. And this is the chart we just been looking at. So the halving is not a small thing in the world of Bitcoin or in the world I come from. when I started buying Bitcoin, it was very controversial in Sweden, because in Sweden we so much trust the government, and Bitcoin is actually something that can be considered against the government. So it was very controversial when I started to buy, and a lot of people has been against me and has tried to debate me on this. But I've been buying steadily since 2016. In the end of 2016, I think I started to buy each month just a little bit. I think British Hodl have a name for me that is the happy hippie. I've been buying every month, putting a little bit in, and actually over time it stacks up to quite a lot. And for me, it helps. It helps that I am not so much like listening to other people, and that I actually an engineer in my heart. So I am curious. I am reading about Bitcoin. I am understanding the technology. And actually, one thing I've been planning for this YouTube channel is actually having a sort of Bitcoin university or a free Bitcoin tutorial where I teach you about Bitcoin, and it will be for non-coders. So you don't need to be able to code to understand this. I will explain everything, like how it works, like opening up the hood of Bitcoin and show all these different specs about Bitcoin, and you will understand 100%. I promise there will be no more math like we had today. But to finish off, I want to show this Chad Bukele, and I want to wish you a happy Bitcoin halving.